Okay, I recently purchased this 1983 Toyota, nice little truck, motorhome. And here's the side, and the front, and the top. What I did is I started going through it. Had a couple of issues. I ended up having to change the water pump. I put in a new muffler and a few odds and ends. But anyway, I was working up here on the front corner here, and I found a bunch of this rotten stuff in this corner, and evidently it was leaking from down up in here and up here. And I've got the pieces over here, and you can see how bad some of this stuff is rotten. It's just falling apart, the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is replace it. I guess actually rebuild it. So what I did is I took the siding off to do a little inspection on it. Here I got a couple of small issues here that I'm going to have to take care of. But our main problem is up here on the cab where the bunk is. And after tearing this corner apart, I realized that the whole front of it and this wall and the bed area is just rotten as hell. So I ripped off all the siding, and I'm going to proceed to rebuild the whole thing and make it last for another 30 years. It's a nice little truck. It gets 20 plus miles a gallon. It's not real big. I can almost park it in a regular parking spot instead of taking up 2 or 3 of them. But anyway, I got some wood in the back of the truck here. I got this nice paneling, which is they call it rosewood up at Lowe's. My daughter works, and so I'm going to re-side it with that on the inside. And I've got a nice piece of plywood here for the base of the bed. Usually it's just 3/16, but I went with 1/4 inch, was it? And I'm going to just make it beefier and stronger. So when I get a little bit farther along, I'm going to take some more pictures. And I'll get back with you when I get a little bit farther along, let you know how it's coming. Bye. Okay, we got the bed bottom, piece of plywood, getting her cut out. Finally got her cut out. So I think we'll just continue on and get her ready for the framing. I think that's what I need to do. I need to trim off a couple of these. I got a spot here and one on the other side over there. But we'll get them trimmed off, and then I'll start getting the framing put on. Okay, like I said, I got the bed floor cut out, and I'm going to stain every damn piece of wood on here and really seal it up, because I want this thing to last for at least another 30 years. Because I plan on using it for a while, and we're going to make it work. Make sure when you do this, if you do it, you stain it on both sides, and make sure you stain this edge right along here all the way down, and make sure you really soak that good so it just sucks it up like a sponge, because mostly that's where your problem is going to be, is on the edges here where all the water will get in between. And so you want to make sure you get that extra good. Like I said, let it soak it up like a sponge, and then the whole thing should be sealed up really good. So I'm going to flip it over and do the other side, and then let her dry, and then we'll be ready for the framing after I get it dried. So we'll keep working. Okay, here we go. I got a quick update. I'll show you here. We've got the base of the bed cut out and just laid up there for storage for now. I've got the top panel just about cut out. I've got to cut out the center here for the cab. And I got most of that done. So what I'm going to do now is I ended up getting some of this wood finish, and it's a natural color. It's supposed to bring out the natural color. And the paneling that we got here is they call it rosewood. I don't know if you can see it, but it's supposed to have a real nice rose wood color to it. Nice interior paneling. I'm going to try some of this stain on it just to see what it looks like and see if I want to use it on the interior paneling as we go. Okay, this is Buffalo Bob, and we'll get back with an update later. I get some of the framing cut out and this thing stained, and then we'll turn it down for the night. Okay. Okay, we're still here staining. That little sample piece I did on that rosewood turned out really nice. So I'm going to stain the whole top of the bed part where the mattress sits on. And give it that nice rose look like we talked earlier. It worked out really good. And this is what I'm using right here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera there. Yeah. It's a regular satin and steel, it's stain and steel, but it's the all natural color as they call it. Clear, pretty much. Just brings out the color in the wood. So I'm going to finish doing these panels, and then I'll have to put it together. I got some of the framing done too underneath it. So once I get this stained, I'm going to put it up and let it dry for a couple of days, and then finish putting the rest of the frame together. So we're still staining. That's where we're at now. Okay, coming along. I've got, well, I got the two sides that go next to the bunk. And this old rotten piece here, I took it and used it for a template and marked out where I need to cut it. I did both sides. Make sure when you do that, you trace out the one side and then flip your piece over so it'll match the other side. Otherwise you'll get two of the same side, and you don't need that. So I went ahead and marked them out, and they're ready to cut out. And I thought, well, I'm going to secure for the night, so I guess I'll go ahead and stain them. We got them all stained up, and I'll let them dry tonight. And I got some of the framing over here glued on some of the bed bottom. As you can see, I just laid this piece on top of the, you can see it underneath there. That's going to be the bed bottom. And I already got the frame done and started gluing her in place. Once I get it all glued, then I'll flip the whole thing over and put a couple of small deck screws in it, and that should be stronger than it was when it came from the factory. So we're coming along. We just gotta keep plugging away. Here's what's left of the over the cab. I almost have a convertible now. Back up a little bit, but it's coming apart pretty good. Some of this stuff, I just took it apart right up there to the top of this. It may be a little discolored, but I think I'll just stain it up and it'll be fine. And I'm going to replace this piece right here because it's just a couple of flimsy 1x1, and I can get it right up here and seam it out. I think what I'll actually do is trim down a 2x4 and put in a nice solid piece. And this is the only reason I'm doing it, is because this stuff down here is getting, and I hate to redo the whole thing and have this corner down here come out. So I'm just going to replace the whole piece there. And it's not going to be too difficult, because there's one small piece here that joins the other side, and the other side is built the same way. So I'll be able to do that there too. And that's where the door frame jamb is and everything. As you can see, it's just falling apart. So I'll replace both of them for the doors, but first thing I want to do is get the cab done. And I haven't even torn out the other side yet. It's all loosened up, but I got the window out, of course. But I'll get the bottom of the bed done, and then I'll do the front here, and then we'll go from there. So I'll get back with you. That's my project. Okay, so here we are again, piece. What we got is I got that bed pretty much all glued and screwed. I got it all glued and screwed, all the pieces put in and all screwed together. It's glued everywhere, all the joints up here, here, everything I could. Right now I got the styrofoam and I got it ready to put in back in the panels, but I'm going to reseal the whole thing again, the inside. I'm going to reseal up in the edges where I cut the boards, and reseal the whole thing. And this is on the inside. So, and then when I get done with that, put it together, I'm going to stain the outside again. So that's where we're at. I just keep working. I put an extra piece right here too to make it stronger. I made each one of these boards wider. They used to be this small size. I think it was barely 3/4 by 3/4. But I went ahead and put all the edges with the thickened board. And even right here, the cab sits right on top here, so this will really strengthen her up full length here. So it goes all the way across the cab. Same with the end. That's still gluing there. Alright, we've got the panels in now. All the styrofoam in. And we're ready for the sheeting for the top. Looks pretty good. All stained up. Got the insulation in. Nice and flush. And here's the piece that we're going to put on that we pre-cut and stained. So we'll get that on. Get ready to rock and roll here. Okay. Where we putting it? Putting it right on top. That's pretty good, you know? Just lay that right on top. That'll be the top of the bed. Square up the edge. There's the corner. Yeah. Looks good. Brand new. That's going to be nice. Okay, thank you. I'll go ahead and tack that down with a couple of tack screws.